welcome to episode 31 of the Graceful Tangle podcast. I'm Amy Kate, a young but passionate knitter and crocheter. You can find show notes for this episode on my blog, which will be linked in the description box below. So if you have any other questions, you can check out those notes. And then if you have any further questions, you can message me on any of my platforms or in the comments section below, and I will try to get back with you. I am so super excited to be back with you guys with episode 31. If you haven't already subscribed, please go ahead and do that. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you can know each and every time I upload a new video. Now, before we go any further, I want to chat briefly about the sweater that I am wearing. I have talked about this one a couple of times because I have worn it a couple of times. However, this is my trilogy sweater, which is a pattern by Annie, I believe, of This Bird Knits. I absolutely love this sweater. It is so cozy. I love how long the yoke is, but it's not too long to where it's like restricting or uncomfortable across my chest, which is something that really bothers me and that I don't get with this sweater. So I'm really happy with the way that it fits. But yeah, really love this sweater. I also have some coffee that I'm going to be drinking, hopefully, throughout this episode. I think it's still a little bit too hot right now, so I'm not going to take a sip and burn my tongue, because I had an experience with that earlier this week and it was not fun. So yeah, I'm gonna wait a second, but I'm using this super cute little mug. It might be backwards too. I need to figure out the science behind that, because I feel like because it's backwards to me in the screen, it won't be backwards to you. I'm sure there's not really a science behind it. It's just me and my brain. Anyway, I'm so excited to chat with you guys about so many things that I am working on. I have made loads of progress on multiple things this week, and I have gotten a few things done, which is super exciting, and I'm really happy for it. I also have so many things coming up this next week that I can't wait to chat with you guys about in the little life update section. But first, let's go ahead and talk about some finished objects. Alrighty, so my first finished objects, or actually my first 6, are the commission cowls that I made. So I finished those last week. I chatted about them in my last episode. I was making 6 of the single arrow cowls, which is a pattern that I designed, and it's available in my Ravelry and Etsy shops, and I'll link it in the description box below. Or actually it'll be linked in the show notes, so you can check it out over there. However, I had to make 6 of them for a commission, and I finished those this week. I actually shipped them out yesterday, but I recorded a little bitty clip before I shipped them out all about them. So I'm going to insert that here so that you can watch that and know a little bit more about them. Alrighty, so I have to ship these cowls out today, so I wanted to film this quick little video to show them to you guys before I do that. But these are the 6 cowls that I made as a commission for a family member. She is giving these as Christmas gifts to some of her other family members. And I wanted to just show them quickly to you guys before I had to ship them off. So these are 6 of my single arrow cowl patterns. So this is a super simple double crochet cowl. Really basic, uses worsted weight yarn, all double crochets. It has a center stitch here that makes it form an arrow shape. And then it is worked flat, but then seamed, which this right here is the seam. It is pretty invisible, which is super awesome, and it's also really easy to make it that invisible, which is really nice. So yeah, I made 4 kind of Auburn football themed ones and 2 Alabama themed football ones. I imagine there was a little bit of tension in this family if, 4 people are Auburn and 2 people are Alabama, but I don't know. Anyway, so I used the, kind of most pleasing colors to look at as I could. I guess traditionally Auburn and Alabama, Auburn is like a bright orange and a like royal blue, and then Alabama is white or gray and like a crimson red. So I tried to kind of make them as pretty as possible. I could have done like narrower stripes. But to be quite honest, I wanted to limit the number of ends because these cowls don't have an edging attached to them. So I would have had to either weave them in every single time, which wouldn't have been fun, or carry my yarn up and have it show, and that wouldn't be ideal either. So I decided to make them have really wide stripes and there's just 4 stripes, so I did each color twice, and it worked out really, really well. I'm really pleased with how they turned out. Yeah, let me see. I think there was something else that I wanted to say about them, but now I can't remember what it was. Anyway, I really, really love how these turned out, and here is another one of the auburn ones so that you can kind of see them, I don't know, together. I really do like how wide the stripes are. Oh, what I was about to say, if I had done narrow stripes on this one, I think it kind of would have looked like a candy cane. Which is something I didn't even think of, but especially because it's a Christmas gift, I am grateful that I decided to do the wide stripes, because that would have been unfortunate. Because if I was given a color like this on Christmas and it had these same colors and narrow stripes, my brain would immediately go to candy cane or peppermint, not Alabama college football. But anyway, really like how these turned out. I originally thought I was going to use more yarn than I actually did. I purchased 2 skeins each of I Love This Yarn, 2 skeins in the orange and 2 in the blue to make the 4 cowls. I thought I was only going to need 1, actually. I was on the 4th cowl, and I was really thinking I was only going to need that first skein of each. And then I literally had to break into the blue skein for 2 rows, which is frustrating because I was planning on actually returning the 2 skeins so that I could get my money back. It's not a big deal at all. It's just I would have liked to have done that if I wasn't, because I don't have like another project in mind for that yarn yet. But it's okay. So yeah, I mean, I was so close. And if it had been like, if it wasn't a commission and if I was making them for somebody else, I would have just skipped those last 2 rows. 100%. Like, I would have just skipped them. But because somebody is paying me to do these and I wanted them to all be exactly the same, I decided not to do that and just break into the second one. And I'm glad that I made that decision, even though it was a little bit frustrating. And like the orange one, it's just so random. I mean, I actually have this much left over of the first skein of orange. So I didn't even break into the second orange skein. But yeah. It's just how it happens sometimes. There's a little bit of inconsistency, and that's okay. You can't expect every single skein to be the same. That's why they say, roughly 100 grams per however many yards. But anyway, really pleased with how these cowls turned out. I am excited to be done with them and sending them off to their new home. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and jump back into the podcast. Okay, so I am super grateful to have had the opportunity to make those cowls. However, I must admit that I am also really excited to be done with them because there are so many other things that I want to make as well. I am actually, I don't know what the word is. I am going to make another commission project. However, the yarn for that, it was such a pain to track it down. And then once it finally shipped, we actually had to get my aunt to ship it to us, which is just crazy. I hate that she had to do that, but I'm very grateful that she did. However, she shipped it out Monday. So this coming Monday is going to be, I believe, 2 weeks since she shipped it. I'm pretty sure that's right. Yeah, 2 weeks, which is just crazy. And it was like priority mail, so it should already be here. I mean, it should have been here, so soon after she shipped it. But I'm aware that the postal service is really backed up right now, and I can completely understand that. I mean, that's not the only package that has been delayed. However, we are going out of town later this week, and so I'm really hoping that it comes here in time because it has to be done by Christmas, and I would love to have it done sooner than that. So we'll have to see. So that is on the queue of things to make soon. However, I obviously can't get started on it without the yarn. So we're going to move right along after that little tangent into more finished objects. So my next finished object is something that I actually finished a while ago, and it is the Sweetheart Sweater by K of K Crochets. So I finished this, let's see, about a week and a half ago now. However, it just released this past Friday, and I have a video all about it on my channel. That will be linked in the show notes. So if you want to hear more about it, you can go check it over and go check out that video. However, this is such a great sweater pattern. If you want to crochet a sweater, I highly recommend this one because it's just amazing. The construction is genius. The stitch pattern is gorgeous. I love the way it feels. I love the way it fits. It's just absolutely beautiful. So I highly recommend checking that out if you so desire. Again, that will be linked in the show notes, as well as everything else I talk about. So I'm not going to say in the show notes a million times, but just know that they are linked down below. So if you have any questions about anything I talk about, then it's most likely in those notes. Alrighty, the next finished object that I have is my Nook pullover. So there's a big long story behind this, and I'm going to try to make it as short as possible, but I also do want to share it with you guys. So, first off, let me just talk a little bit about the sweater. So it is finished. It's completely done. I do have to weave in the ends. I haven't done that yet, but I have blocked it. So that is really good. I'm glad that it is now nice and neat and blocked. Last time we chatted, I had to finish the second sleeve and do the ribbing, but I was waiting on yarn to come in the mail. That took like 3 weeks to get here. However, once it finally arrived, I got that package this past Friday. I'm recording this on a Sunday, and I finished it last night. So I did both sleeves on Friday, and then I did the ribbing on Saturday. And I'm so happy that I was able to get it done. I'm hoping to get some pictures this afternoon and get all of it done. All of my notes back to Bella and all of those things. This is a pattern by Bella of Bella's Custom Crochets. I'm actually testing it. It is out of testing now. I will talk more about that in a second. It is out of testing now and just in the final like home stretch before being released. So I'm going to have a video all about this sweater when the pattern releases. So stay tuned for that, and I'm going to go into even more details. However, just briefly, the yarn that I used Knit Picks Static in the color Peachy, even though, you know, it's totally not really peachy, but that's okay. That's the color that I used. And then the white is Knit Picks Stroll Bear, is what it is. So it's not dyed. Really, really like how it looks. I was originally using white, but then I ordered Bear, and so I had to redo the sleeve that I had done in the white because obviously Bear and white don't match. It was another whole big long thing, but it's done now, and it is so, so amazing. I love it so much. It fits absolutely perfectly, exactly how it's designed, which is just wonderful. Now, the only unfortunate thing that happened with me in this sweater is that I didn't meet the original deadline for the testing group. It is my first time to ever do that, and I've tested over 30 times now. So that was really disappointing, and it was really hard for me personally to accept, just because, you know, I'm the type of person who gets things done when they're supposed to get done and meets deadlines, and, you know, I want to do what's expected of me all the time and exceed expectations, not go beneath them. So it was really hard to kind of accept that. However, it was completely a shipping issue. It just didn't get here in time. I ordered it with enough time to spare. I literally just needed like 3 hours to finish it, which I had, you know, multiple sets of 3 hours before it was due, but they were just didn't get here in time. However, it arrived literally, let's see, I'm trying to think now. It was due, she did extend the deadline a little bit, and unfortunately my yarn still didn't arrive on time. However, it was due on Tuesday. I was able to turn in all of the notes that I could without having the sweater completely finished. And then I was able to finish it yesterday on Saturday, and I will finish getting my notes to her today. So even though it's super disappointing that I missed that deadline, Bella was so understanding and so gracious, and I am, like, I couldn't be more grateful for that. Again, I did the absolute best I could. It was just, you know, I couldn't quite hit it. However, I am so happy that it is now done, and I am also grateful for the fact that it's not released yet. That was my biggest concern. I didn't want the pattern to be released and my testing sample not even be done yet, because that would have been really, really gut-wrenching for me. However, it is done. I love it so, so much. Again, I will have a video go up all about this once the pattern is released, so you can stay tuned for that if you want a little bit more information about it. But I am so thrilled to be wearing that now. I have been wanting some more, like, sweatshirty sweaters, kind of like the one that I'm wearing, especially ones that I can wear with leggings. Like this one, I can actually stand it real quick. It fits me absolutely perfectly, but I can't wear it with leggings because it doesn't cover my bottom all the way, and that one does, and I'm so happy about it. So, really, really excited to wear that sweater. Alrighty, do I have any other finished objects to talk about. I don't think I have any that aren't designs, so let's go ahead and hop into works in progress. Alrighty, so I have 2 works in progress to share with you guys this week. As of this morning, I only had 1, and I realized that, and I was completely flabbergasted. I couldn't believe I only had 1 work in progress, period. I actually have, so my scrappy blanket, I don't really count that as a work in progress. I have separate videos all about that if you want to check them out. However, I also have 2 other, like, long-term works in progress that there's either something wrong with them or they were put on the side. One of them I'm not going to be finishing. The second one is my Weekender sweater by Andrea Malley. I actually have it right here in this bag, but I'm not quite ready to conquer that yet. I know I want the sweater. It is beautiful. I'm not too far for finishing, but I'm going to have to take out the neckline, and that is going to require some pretty serious surgery. So I'm going to have to do that at some point because I do want it to be done. However, anyway, I now have 2 works in progress because I realized today that I need to get a Christmas present done by tomorrow. Because I'm so last minute. However, it's a pretty quick project, so I think I can get it done. So let's go ahead and talk about those 2 works in progress. I am currently drinking coffee because it is the perfect temperature now. So, it's super, super yummy. I really love coffee. Alrighty, anyway, so my first work in progress is actually over halfway done, if that gives you any guesses. So last week I shared the socks that I was working on for my brother, and I was actually hoping to have them done this week, but it's okay that I didn't. However, I have finished 1 sock, and it looks like this. First of all, okay, we just have to appreciate the fact this fits absolutely perfectly on the medium size sock blocker, and that just makes my heart sing. Like, seeing it all nice and crisp and snug on this little blocker makes me so happy. Oh my goodness. So this is Knit Picks Static in the color Terrarium. It's just beautiful greens. Really, really dark greens. There's actually not any black, even though it kind of looks like that. It's all green, shades of green and white. And I just love these socks so much. Alrighty, so I am still working on the second sock, which I'm housing in this adorable little bag that I sewed recently, and I absolutely love it. So this sock, let's see. Okay, so I am currently working on the heel flap section, and it is going well. So I'm doing a slip stitch, heel flap, and gusset, and it's going really, really well. While I was making this entire faux sock, like the entire time I was telling myself, like, oh, I love how it's working up so much. I don't even care if they don't match. It's going to be great. Yeah, I care if they match. So after I finished this sock, I spent like at least 15 minutes just figuring out how to make the match. And it's kind of hard to find the repeat in Static, and so it took me a while, but I found it. So they're going to match perfectly, which makes me very happy. So yeah, I'm going to be making more socks very soon with Static, and I don't want to be paranoid about them matching, but I don't know. I can't get past it now. However, really love how these are working up. I am using the Magic Loop Vanilla Sock pattern by Kay of the Crazy Sock Lady, and they're going really well. I modified the numbers to fit, to make them fit my brother a little bit better, but it was super easy to do that, and I'm really glad that I did. And it's working out great. I'm really excited to have these done. My goal is to have them finished by, I'm trying to think. Ideally, they would be finished by the time that we leave for our vacation, which I'll talk more about in a little bit. But we're leaving on Wednesday. And so if they could be done by then, that would be absolutely perfect. So yeah, really like by Tuesday would be optimal. But we're going to have to see because there are a couple of things that I have to get done as well. So we're going to have to see. But that is my first work in progress. My second one is a cowl, which is going to be a Christmas present that I'm giving away tomorrow. So I need to get it done by tomorrow. But this is a cowl. This is the Infinity Scarf by Bella of Bella's Custom Crochets. I'm like totally representing her Pattern Uses podcast episode, aren't I? But absolutely love this. I know I'm like only 2 rows in. I just started it this morning. I love this pattern. I have a Throwback Thursday episode all about it, which will be linked in the show notes. I really love it. So that's what I have so far. I'm using Lips and Threads Barcelona, which is the same yarn that I used for my first one and my second one. I actually have never showed y'all my second one because I crocheted it a while back for my friend. But I am using this yarn again. It is the color, if I can find it, my goodness, Quartz. So it's this really pretty gray, kind of purple, variegated. I think my friend who this is going to absolutely love it. I really hope so. These cowls are just so cozy, and they're pretty quick. They do take a little bit of time because it's an infinity scarf, but it uses the half double crochet stitch, which is my favorite crochet stitch, and it is also the one that I am quickest at, which is really awesome. And I am using a size 8mm hook. With that is this one, which is my absolute favorite hook. So yeah, it's going really, really well. And again, I'm hoping to have that done today or tomorrow, by tomorrow. But yeah, so that is all for works in progress. I have actually done quite a bit of designs this week, which feels so good. So let's go ahead and talk about those. Alrighty, so I have a few designs to share with you guys, actually. Now, the first two I'm just going to show super briefly because they will be released soon, and I don't want to give them completely away. But here is the first thing. Dun, dun, dun. This is all I'm going to show you. I'm just going to torture you. But, oh my goodness, you guys. I cannot get enough of this. I am so excited about this new design. It is releasing, as you're watching this, tomorrow, Wednesday. And I'm so stinking excited about it. So stay tuned for that. That's literally all I'm going to show because I don't want to give it away. But I'm really, really excited about it. So stay tuned for that design. It is crocheted and it is bobbly. So it's super exciting. And then the next design that I'm working on is, I have also completely finished this. So I'm, again, not going to show you too much. But here's a little bitty sneak peek. So it is the beanie version of the Blush and Grace Messy Bun Beanie. This has been a highly, highly requested pattern. I am so excited that I'm finally going to get it out to you guys. And it is coming in just a little bit. So wait just a little bit longer and you will be able to see it in its full glory. But yeah, I really, really love both of these designs. I know I'm being super secretive, but I want to keep it a surprise. And those will also have their individual videos coming out when they're released as well. So you can see all of the details then. And then I am working on some scrunchies. So this is actually super exciting. I'm going to be giving these as Christmas gifts this year, or I guess to complete Christmas gifts. However, I will be releasing this as a pattern, so stay tuned for that because it is coming very, very soon. And I'm really excited about it. But here are a couple so far. So they're just these super cute velvet crocheted scrunchies. I absolutely love them. I can actually put my hair up in one real quick and kind of show you what it looks like. But yeah, here we go. So you can see my tiny little ponytail. Of course, I would do a better job, you know, if I were actually going to fix it for the day. But these work so well. They don't slip out of your hair, which is huge for me. My hair is pretty slick and some things do tend to slip out, but these don't. They are absolutely wonderful. So I'll be releasing this as a super, super simple pattern, so stay tuned for that if you're interested. But yeah, really excited about this. And if you're curious, the colors that I used Yarn Bee, here's one of the skeins, Yarn Bee Velvety Smooth, the very original colors. You ready? This is purple. This is the purple color, and this one is olive. And then I have also done a silver one as well, but I'm not sure I put it over here. But silver is like the third and final scrunchie in this individual set. So really loving these. These take literally like, I don't know, less than 5 minutes to make. They're so quick. And I know that everybody that I'm going to give them to is going to love them so much, and I'm really excited about it. Again, stay tuned for that release because it's going to be kind of sporadic. Let me mess up that word. It's going to be like a surprise. So I guess stay tuned. And it's going to be like super, super simple. It's probably going to be the easiest pattern that I've ever released, which is pretty exciting. So that is all my designs. I actually did want to show one that I'm going to have coming up. So my grandmother's birthday is December 21st, right before Christmas. It's actually on the first day of winter. And I'm going to be knitting her a hat. And I'm going to use these two colors, which are two colors from Knit Picks Muse. This one is Savvy Hand Painted, and this is Affection Tonal. I think they are so beautiful together. It's going to be a colorwork hat design. I already have the chart completely designed, and I'm so excited about it. This is going to be, I think my first colorwork design, right? I'm pretty sure. Yeah. And I'm really excited about it. So stay tuned for that, because I will show it next week, because it'll be done next week, because her birthday is next week. Oh my goodness. Guys, I cannot believe how close Christmas is. I had that realization yesterday, or not yesterday, Friday, that Christmas is 2 weeks away. And like when you guys see this video, it's going to be a lot less than 2 weeks away. It's going to be like a week and a half, which is just insane. I have so much to do. It's ridiculous. However, I'm really looking forward to that new design, and stay tuned, because I will definitely be showing some progress with you guys about it later. Alrighty, so that is it for design talk. Now let's go ahead and hop into a little devotional and then a life update. Alrighty, so if you've tuned into my last couple of podcasts, you know that I have chosen a word each podcast in December to chat about with you guys. So I've done a couple of them, and now the next word that I want to talk about is love. So, as I'm sure we all know, I can quote so many Bible verses, so many other random quotes, and just so many things about the word love. Because so many thoughts come to mind, right? I mean, you can think about God's love, or you can think about the way you love your kids if you have kids, or the way you love your husband, or spouse, or person that you are in a relationship if you have that sort of relationship with somebody. But the kind of love that I want to talk about is the most important, and the one that I can personally connect to really the most right now, and that is God's love. It is never failing, never changing, and so beautiful, and the foundation for all other types of love and experiences of love that we may have in the future. So, I have a couple of Bible verses that I want to share with you. And the first one is 1 Corinthians 16:4. It says, "Let all that you do be done in love." And we do this, we do everything that we do in love, because that's exactly what Jesus did. And we want to be as much like Jesus as we can, and follow in his ways, follow what he has for us. And that's just so beautiful. And he has done so much for us, and another one of his names is love. He is love. He came and showed us what love looks like, and that's exactly what we need to do as Christians. So I just want to encourage you that no matter what you're going through, or whatever you think God might think, just know that whatever happens can never change the way that he loves you. One of my favorite Bible verses, and probably one of the most famous, if not the most famous, is John 3:16. And it says, "For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son, that whosoever believes in him shall not perish, but have eternal life." If that doesn't sum up the word love and the phrase beautiful, I don't know what does. God loves us. He loves us sinners. He loves people that weren't even here. Obviously, we were not here when Christ was crucified. We were not even a thought to anybody except God when Christ was crucified. Yet God loved us so much that he sacrificed his one and only Son so that we could have a personal, intimate, fulfilling relationship with him. And that is breathtakingly beautiful and life-changing. So I encourage you that no matter what you're going through or what trials you may be facing, to always show love. Show love to everybody you come in contact with, because that's exactly what Christ did for us. Even if it's a little bit difficult, to show love at the person who isn't treating you very nicely at Walmart, or whatever the case may be, you never know what somebody else is going through. And that is something that I, hold in my mind every time I see somebody, because even if somebody says something not very nice to me, or makes a realization about me that I don't really like. There's so many things that I could do. I could say something about them that I don't like, or I could say something else that isn't very nice. But that's not going to help anybody. That's not going to help me and my heart. It's not going to help my relationship with God, and it's not going to help that other person. So why would we do it? We wouldn't. We shouldn't. So I encourage you to walk in love, to be in love with God, in love with those around you, and in love with showing love. So that is my little piece of advice for you. I hope, as always, that it's encouraging. I love sharing these little devotionals with you guys, and I love carrying the conversation in the comments below. So if you have anything that you want to add to that, I highly encourage you to do so. Again, I know love is such a huge topic. More, of course, we could talk for hours about love, but the most important love that we will ever experience is the love that God has for us, and that is beautiful, and one that I am continuing to realize and learn about more and more every single day, and it is breathtaking every day. Every time I look at it, it just takes my breath away, and it is absolutely wonderful. So, a little bit of a life update. This week is going to be quite a big week for us, but it is full of exciting things, and this week is, it's going to be crazy for sure, but it's like a good kind of crazy. So, I'm filming this on Sundays. I film on Sundays. And tomorrow, Monday, I have my last final for my first semester of college. It is the biggest one, the one that I am most nervous about, and it's income tax. So yeah, that class is almost to a close, and I could not be happier. Oh my goodness, this class has been a pain. It's been so difficult. It's been probably the hardest class I've ever taken, ever. But I've learned a lot. And now I am just trying my absolute hardest to show that on the exam tomorrow. I want to excel. I want to make the highest grade that I possibly can. And of course, I am shooting for 100. I cannot even begin to explain how amazing it would be to make 100 on this exam. But we're going to have to see. I'm just hoping to make a really, as high of a score as I can. And then it will be done. And I am so thrilled. All of my other classes are finished. So yeah, really excited to be closing this first semester. I'm so grateful for everything that I have learned, and I'm quite possibly equally grateful to have a break coming up. Anyway, and then I'm also seeing my best friend tomorrow, which is going to be so lovely. I miss her so much. We haven't seen each other in a while, and I'm really grateful to be able to spend some time with her this week. And then on Wednesday, we are leaving to go out of town safely, don't worry, to see my grandparents that live in Gulf Shores, Alabama. So we're going to be heading down there on Wednesday, and we'll come back later this week. So it's going to be crazy. And then next week, of course, is Christmas, the week of Christmas. So lots of things coming up, lots of knitting. I hope I can manage to knit in the car. I try, and I have these huge plans every single time I get in the car, and then I get car sick and it doesn't work. But I'm hoping to do the necessary precautions to make it to where I can knit in the car, because I can make so much progress in 6 hours. It's a long drive, so I'm hoping that I can do that. But yeah, big week ahead, big exciting week ahead, a break coming up for school, and I am so excited about it. So I hope that you all have an amazing week, or continue to have an amazing week. Let me know in the comments below what you are working on right now, because I want to hear it, and I love keeping those conversations going in the comments. So I also wanted to briefly mention that I have a few new videos up on my channel, but perhaps the most exciting one is a day in the life video that I recently released. So if you want to kind of see what a Sunday in my life looks like, you can check out that video. I will link it right in the description box below. And it's pretty exciting. So I had so many requests to film that video, and I finally did it last week. I plan on doing many more, of course, but I would love to hear what you think. So go check that out if you haven't already. Alrighty, guys, I think I will leave y'all there. Thank you so much for watching episode 31. I hope that you enjoyed it. Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and follow me on all my other social media platforms. Thank you so very much for watching, and I will see you all again next time. Bye!